And I always just this setup with hatcheries where the queen can just go spit, and you just build up so much larva. Um, I don't know, just a terrifying situation.
Yeah, I mean, whenever what's actually really interesting is that Psystorm ignores armor completely. So if you have a hatchery that's full of 24 larvae in front and you Psystorm them, they all die.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's actually I'm actually was thinking about how to use that as like a really strong harassment because the Zerg basically Zerg's third resource is always said Zerg has a third resource larva.
Yeah.
So I wonder how effective that would be to use Psystorm drops to harass the larva line.
Yeah, that could be pretty big, especially in mid to late game when just having that reserve of larvae is so huge. And wow, Psystorm's going off. Is this going to be enough to? I think it's going to be enough.
Uh,
Barely. Oh.
It's either way. It's going to be close. I should be making Archons actually, but he is kind of forced to retreat, and I'm able to warp in more units, so it was enough. It was enough to hold at least.
Finally, that expansion going down.
It's fine. I think it just finished, and I should hopefully transfer probes.
Yeah, don't worry.
Right now, they're all mining at the natural to try to make some use of them. But
So we did just see an infestation pit go down for Zerg, so I wonder if we're going to see a couple fungal growths at this point.
so the interesting thing to note is that he is ahead on drones significantly, but I have a lot of probes, but my economy is still so low because my expansion timing was so inefficient.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that probably really hurt me was canceling that Nexus, or not expanding earlier.
Yeah, I do think that was one of your major setbacks because your Nexus would have just survived.
Yeah.
Against that attack. But again, it's a situation of do I need that either extra money right now to put these units to push these, army back, or, can I make it?
And it also comes down to I mean, it's really terrifying to play against a Zerg that has 3 or 4 bases. Especially on this map, and this is a situation I usually get into on this map where you're forced into defending both this third base and your natural. And there's 2 different attack paths. So if I think this map really favors the attacker once your opponent's on 3 bases.
Okay.
Because they can choose which attack path to take, whereas you have to defend in either one of 2 places, not both.
Yeah. That automatic concave by the Hydras, just so powerful. Getting the
Hydras
Hydras
are really amazing. I think he has pretty strong upgrades at this point. I believe.
Yeah, he's going for his Zerg
level 2.
Level 2, and I know he has armor upgrades as well.
Yeah.
And you getting the most retarded sounding upgrade in the game.
The Kadaran
Amulet.
Kadaran Amulet.
So does that actually train Protoss how to wear jewelry?
Yeah, actually, they don't know how to wear jewelry before you get that upgrade.
Oh man.
It's actually an amulet it's embedded into their forehead crest.
Okay.
It's actually touching their brain.
And
I actually don't know if that's true. I made that up. That's not lore.
And this is where the game gets even scarier.
Yeah.
Ultralisk Cavern going down. You are down to only 1 mining expansion. Zerg is all over the map, about to make Ultralisks.
Zerg's taking to add insult to injury,
taking the base that he stole from you.
And taking the base behind the rocks.
Yeah.
So Zerg's in a significant lead at this point. The High Templar aren't really working out for me. And I'm getting Colossus just to try to hold on.
Yeah, I think these Colossus are a bit late. A bit way too late.
It's a desperation move.
Of course.
I mean, really, at this point, this game can be sort of summarized as you let Zerg get too big.
Yeah.
Which is why in the second game, which you guys saw first, I was so aggressive at keeping him small by attacking his economy. But yeah, Grog's just an awesome macro player, and I just let him get too big in this game. I think the final army count was 142 to 30.
Yeah. I mean, this really was a pure economic game.
Yeah.
There was the battles themselves really weren't telling of anything. The battles could have gone either way, and both players would have been just fine. I guess the lesson really is as when you're playing against Zerg and you see them going for any kind of econ game, you either have to match it or army up and break it as fast as possible.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's why so many protesters towards the end of the beta started to use that really fast Zealot harass onto the Zerg's natural, because that's just so effective at forcing the Zerg to not make drones, or even to cancel the hatchery. And really, as Protoss, you need to against when you're playing Zerg, you need to focus on matching bases, and keeping the Zerg's economy down. I've had other games where you get to mid game and you have a bunch of Colossus and a strong army, and he just comes at you with like 200 supply of Hydralisks and decimates you, while you're at 130, 140 still.
Yeah, well, that's the one problem with Hydralisks is Hydralisks really are. I'm not gonna say they're overpowered, but they are such a good unit against everything. They really don't have a weakness, and they only have very specific weaknesses. Like against Protoss, they have against the Colossus is their weakness.
They do have a weakness, is it's that they do have relatively low life, and Protoss can take advantage of that because they have so much area effect damage through Colossuses and High Templar.
But if you're not utilizing that off the bat, that's where you just get screwed. Yeah. Any other points?
No.
All right, cool.
GG.
GG.